Welcome to the jungle, la 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 la. That's what my garden is all about.
There's a misconception that being most self-sufficient is a full-time job. Too hard physically or just too troublesome. Well, growing food for one family is many times easier than being a full-time commercial vegetable farmer. I mulch tomatoes and peppers in the greenhouse with organic wheat straw to keep the moisture in the soil and keep the weeds out of the greenhouse. My great-grandparents were food independent even at 90 years old, without using any of the information, technology, and conveniences available today. I'm sure it was the very activity around food that kept them healthy for so long, not to mention their simple but untainted nutrition. What they didn't grow or make was traded for locally with the bountiful harvest. Economically, growing my own makes just as much sense. I buy a 100-seed packet for $3, and a few months later, I have 100 heads of lettuce worth $300. What other investment generates a 100-fold return? I'm really saving money because compared to organic food, organic seeds are not expensive.
Here's an apple tree and the apples are just beginning to form.
Red Baron is nut tart and it's good for cooking.
It's amazing how cute and tiny they are. A really nice cherry, sour cherry or pie cherry, forming little cherries. Now this cherry multiplies by roots. So there's another one here and another one there that I need to transplant. See, I have marked it off. It's so crazy. Everything just wants to grow and develop and procreate, and spring is here. Here's really nice garlic. You see the currants are currently in the weeds.
Curly parsley is the hardiest in the parsley family, and it overwinters here under some garden fabric.
I have some strawberries. Wow, a lot of strawberry flowers, seriously.
I cover the strawberry plants with organic wheat straw for the winter to protect them from ice and cold, and in early spring, I pull the straw off the plants and leave the straw as mulch in the aisles.
Humongous patch of perennial thyme, which is an herb that you use with meat, tofu, some soups, and right next to it is perennial oregano, and both of these amazing herbs have moved by themselves onto the raised beds. It's crazy, but it's amazing. Here's the thyme that traveled from here to there all by itself, and here's the oregano patches which just traveled from here to there, and it's all ready to bloom. It's just amazing.
Jerusalem artichokes, or if you want to call them sunchokes, are also perennial tubers. I eat them fresh or steamed or roasted with rosemary and coconut oil. They have beautiful yellow flowers.
It's a huge mint patch. I have another gorgeous rhubarb here. This is how you take it off. I grew this one from some Italian seeds that I got. And 3 types of elderberries. Very nice. I planted them last year. Soon they'll be putting out flowers and then fruit. What else do we have here? Red cabbages. We have some.
Sorrel is another hardy perennial. Comes back every year. It is one of the earliest green things that comes out of the ground.
Yum. Nice and sour, very good.
It is wonderful in salads. It grows in any soil, makes for a nice soup and sauce, and has a pleasant sour taste.
I have some cucumbers, arugula. This is how the greenhouse looks in June, beginning of July.
There's also no waste here. I go and pick up exactly how much I needed for a given meal of, say, chives, lettuce, cucumber, or zucchini. The taste is fresh and heavenly. No 5-star restaurant can come close to the richer flavor, fragrance, and nutrition. And the rest stays fresh in the soil, not in my fridge. The scraps, weeds, and peelings go back to enrich the soil as my organic compost. I love eating the fruits of my labor. There's always something tasty growing. No need to spend an hour in transit and an hour shopping to get food which won't be as fresh as that I just picked. I have a huge variety of edible plants. Many perennials that I never worry about because they are always back after winter. I love heirloom vegetables, thinking that my great-grandma grew these.
These are tomato plants that I planted from a seed, and they're doing very, very well. I put some compost around them. Another type of cherry tomato, the light orange color, very sweet. tomato plants blooming, cherry tomatoes ripening.
And it's not rocket science. Whether it's in the backyard, a community garden, a cherry tomato plant in a 5-gallon pot on the balcony, or a rosemary plant near an apartment window. Anyone can have their own health food, which I equate with real health insurance. After all, you cannot eat a manicured lawn. It's a GMO-free zone around here. Epazote, a Mexicano herb that I use when cooking beans because it mitigates flatulence and adds a nice earthy flavor.
Here are the hot wax Hungarian peppers. They are hot, but not as hot as jalapenos. They grow very well in any climate and they are delicious. This could grow a little larger, but I think it's pretty ready to be eaten or put in a salsa. Some pretty large peppers developing.
Here, in this organic garden, I can attain the highest standards of health possible. Because you know what they say, if you want a good pie, bake it yourself. Berggarten sage, or Berg, mountain, garden, mountain garden sage. Oh yeah, that was German. The Berggarten sage does not like to be watered often, just like the rosemary plant, similar to common sage.
Oh, and I have this really amazing lavender plant that I grew from seed from Italy. And what I do is I just pick this, I rub it in my hands and I put it around my neck, and that just calms me down for the rest of the day. It's really lovely. Or I also put this on my dog's collar and it prevents the dog from getting fleas. So lavender is a good thing. Doing an update on my garden. Let's see, my cat likes it.
Porcelain hardneck garlic, which has satin white bulb wrappers and large juicy cloves. I prefer the German white and the Georgian fire garlic. Horseradish, with flavor just like wasabi, is another perennial, so it comes back every year. I dig up a root. It has many roots when large. I wash it, peel it, and grate it onto sauces, soups, salads, and sandwiches because it's spicy, tasty, and it clears my sinuses.
Some more tomato plants. Then there are cucumber plants blooming. Also mulched with grass. Some Thai basil and more cucumber plants. You can see that the little cucumbers are beginning to form here and there, here, there, and they are supported by this trellis I made from sticks I found in the woods and a little bit of rope. Chamomile, snow peas and snap peas growing together, being supported by these sticks and little ropes. Snow peas and snap peas grow these little hands that latch onto the strings, and that's how they stay supported. You know, it's just regular topsoil with a little bit of organic vegetable fruit compost that I made, and it's unbelievable the bounty. Every evening I pick for my huge salad, and I just take this out because it's tough to chew. They are sweet and juicy and just excellent. This is the best snack you could have. No, very sweet.
Some of the obvious advantages of growing my own food are no food recalls, no GMOs, no pesticides, no fungicides, no synthetic fertilizers, no plastics, heavy metals, or harmful chemicals that can make their way into food through the recycling of waste as so-called organic fertilizer.
Thyme, which is a perennial herb in any zone, blooming. It's very beautiful. It's delicious in dressings, on your roasted potatoes and soups. If you dry it, you can put it in the closet, prevent the moths from eating your wool sweaters. Here's a blooming oregano, which everybody's familiar with. Perennial herb to grow in every garden. It has very healing properties, antibacterial, antiviral. Very nice. Tomato plants with tomatoes on it. And this is the long hope, which looks amazing. Let's take a walk through. Here I just planted some cucumber plants. Here are pumpkins, Let's start here and come outside. Celery plants, kale, zucchinis. You can see the flowers and the zucchinis. It's hard to get through. They love it here. It's like a zucchini jungle. Cucumbers, string beans. Cucumbers love warmth. You could see these are really nice munchers. And there's some more cucumbers. And there's my cat. He's just checking in. Okay. Some string beans and cucumber flowers. This is a watermelon plant. It has a small watermelon on the outside. Right here. Some more cucumbers. 100% organic with just a little bit of homemade organic compost. Yellow squash. Some more string beans. Here it's very hard to get through, but there's just this is art in progress. And delicious art. That's that. Happy growing. There's nothing better like growing your own food, right, Ginger? Ginger. Cabbages. Some really pretty perennial blooming chives. They are so pretty and they dry so nicely. They are just gorgeous. Now strawberries are finished. Here we're looking at last wild strawberries that I planted from seed from Italy. They're still pretty tasty. They seem to be fruiting, all summer long. Yeah, even the dog likes them. Yeah, she loves them. There you go. These little Alpine strawberries produce berries all season long. You may call them everbearing. They pack a delectable, unique flavor. Sweet, ripening blueberries. You can see this one and this one are ripe already. Black currants. They also come red, white, and pink. They have lots of vitamins and are just bursting with antioxidants. Very sweet when ripe. I notice winemakers like to describe wine flavors as currant-like, when the wine is fruity and bursting with flavor. I eat currants fresh, use them in smoothies, make jams, juice, sauces, and candy. Kir Royale, a favorite champagne drink, is made with crème de cassis, which is the black currant liqueur. Gooseberries, sweet and juicy when ripe. I eat gooseberries fresh, make jams, and can them for winter. With more and more production being done by agricultural giants who may not hesitate to push the latest genetic manipulation onto unaware customers, our only bargaining leverage against being force-fed like this is to establish our own personal food supply. Otherwise, their monopoly of food will leave everyone dependent and powerless. So I'm growing food that will not only nourish, but also secure a future for me and my family. I have what they call food independence, at least 3/4 of the year. I enjoy that because I take control of every aspect of food production. The planning, seed collecting, soil prep, growing seedlings from seed, designing space for crop rotation, companion plants, and plants to benefit pollinators and pest predators. Growing food involves acquiring new skills, creative thinking, exercise, spending time outdoors, and getting plenty of sunshine and fresh air. Here is the black raspberry that's bursting with fruit. This berry is ready to be eaten. Wild blackberries, the most amazing fruit ever. You don't have to prune them, you don't have to fertilize them, they are always perfect and delicious. When fall comes around, any storable foods like potatoes, garlic, pumpkins, apples, or nuts last well into the winter months. Zestar is one of the earliest ripening apples, and it's super for fresh eating. I believe it's superior in flavor to the Honeycrisp apple. A full freezer of fruits and veggies, a pantry full of dry herbs, jams, sauces, and salsas are perfect for my culinary pursuits. You cut it so the stem is as long as possible. Yeah, now that's a gorgeous one. All you need to do is clean it up from all this mess and put it in the greenhouse or on a sunny, dry windowsill and have it sit there for about 2 weeks And the longer you let it sit, the longer it will last you in the winter. The skin will get really tough. It's just not going to get rotten. You know, pumpkins are just wonderful, not only for pumpkin pie, but if you have pets and you add this to their dog food or cat food, they'll have much better digestion. And of course, you can keep the seeds to grow your next pumpkins. Most favorite green snack on herb, if you wish, papalos. I love it. What you do is you just take the leaves and eat it. It's the most amazing original flavor I ever tasted, papalos.
Since starting this adventure, I learned so many things about food and nature and myself. Time in a garden is relaxing, full of introspective moments. If one longs for freedom and security, growing your own food is the easiest place to start. It's my own declaration of independence. It's important to learn from history that during any unrest or wartime, it was the city dwellers that starved, eating rats and pigeons, while those in the country shared their food with neighbors. There is absolutely no downside to it. It is a vast outlet for a restless curiosity and for those who prefer swimming against the current.
Every day to get a bowl of tomatoes like this, that's heaven. Let me tell you something. You can make gazpacho. You can make a tomato, onion, garlic, basil salad. You can put on some falafels and some little veggie burgers. You can make some pico de gallo, salsa roja. Woo, caliente. I love it.
This gorgeous plant, hyssop, is a hardy perennial herb. It blooms for a long time with beautiful violet flowers. I like to brush against it every day because of its amazing fragrance. Great for bees and beekeepers.
Raspberries. The name is Polana. They fruit in the fall, September, and then they're very delicious. They're very sweet and large. See how beautiful they are. These soft parts, you just cut, use them on sandwiches, cucumber salads, or anything as a garnish on a soup. Very, very delicious, not very pungent. Smell like onion. They're a little wet because it rained yesterday. But what you do is you just cut these off, and these are the chive seeds. So you just dry them, and then you can grow them into another chive patch, and these are perennial. So it's a great investment. They keep growing back every year. Now, I just planted all this lettuce about 2 weeks ago. It's fall time. It's growing really well. And kale and other baby lettuce and other kale. And this is some other beautiful soft baby lettuce. This one is romaine lettuce, which you can transplant and have it grow to a full head. And some Asian lettuce mix and some arugula. Planted very late. I'm not sure if they're gonna come to anything, but it's an experiment. It's always an experiment. Zucchini. Still making quite nice flowers and zucchinis. Russian kale.
At the end of the day, especially when I sit down to a delicious organic feast, I have a sense of accomplishment and pride, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Bottom line, it is a win-win strategy.